Hello, and welcome to my Practice Makes Progress series. So, I took on this challenge of trying to pretty much relearn and not relearn entirely, but like definitely progress and practice in Magic the Gathering with the help of partner Drake Kurama, who has started creating his own YouTube videos for box openings and cards and things like that. And so I decided, like, why not? Let's challenge each other. We're rivals. Let's challenge each other to do something new. And since we already play Magic together, verses and whatnot, decided I was going to try to grow, at least as a player, from what my current standpoint, and see what happens. So that's what this series is. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy the practice that you will be watching. Um, so let's get right into it. Brass tacks. All right. So here we are. So I decided to pick up the Mastery Pass with the Lord of the Rings release and whatnot. Both of us enjoy Lord of the Rings a lot, and of course, I was like, you know what better time to try to create a series of practices? Not just I have to do my dailies every day, which is excellent practice, but deck building, draft construction, tournaments if I ever get to that point. Everything else like that. So you all just get to kind of watch me fumble my way through it. And of course, Drake Kurama critiques all of my stuff, so he'll either watch my videos, give me critiques, and then I'll build from there. Drake Kurama's profile and links are in the about me or in the description for this video. You can absolutely check him out. Not only does he do YouTube videos, or starting to do YouTube videos, but he also does Twitch. So both of those links are there. So please check him out. It's absolutely wonderful times over there. I decided that my first video was probably when I was deciding. I was like, maybe I should just do, a bunch of a bunch of battles and see what we come up with. And then I realized I should probably start from the beginning. So one of my weakest points is deck construction. I can build a deck that I like, but I'm really terrible at kind of putting it together. And if draft is on the table, then I definitely have to know how to pick a deck, right? That's my thought process anyway. So, with some of the, excuse me, gotta get some water. With some of the information that Drake brought to my attention about the way I build decks, one of the things he starts with is what kind of deck do you play? As I play any game, I tend to be more aggressive. I'm very much hit first, hit first, ask questions later, I guess, kind of person, which is like total opposite of him. I know he's like a more of a blue player. And I'm like, no, I'm going to hit with everything I've got, and I'm going to take you out as quickly as I possibly can. That's who I am. So my obvious suggestion was build a red deck. That's how always been my go-to deck was the red decks. So that's what we're going to start with, is building a brand new red deck in standard, because drafting, I believe, goes with more standard, as opposed to LOTR. I thought about doing Lord of the Rings right off the bat because that's what I bought the Mastery Pass for, but standard seems like a pretty good starting point to begin with. So we're gonna build a red deck, red, and I can add some colorless in there too. Obviously, in draft, I would have to be able to do this much faster. Fortuitously, I do not have to do that for this particular video. We're going to take our time and try to understand what it is I am trying to get through my head when I visualize it, when I see it and stuff like that. Basically, you all get to see my stream of consciousness. If you haven't guessed that's what it is already, this video. My stream of consciousness deck building process. So, here we go. Okay, so my first thought is I'm an aggressive player. I want to get monsters galore through it. However, what I do know is I fight a lot more thinkers. Greens and whites. Green I can actually do. If I did a red-green deck, that would be fine. But I'm just going to start just solely mono red and colorless for this first deck. But I see a lot of whites. I see a lot of blues. I do poorly against blues, and I do poorly against whites. Despite the fact that I did build that, you saw that Gandalf for like a 2 second, that Gandalf white deck for Commander, or Historic Brawl, I believe it is. I'm not very good with it, but even my Gandalf deck is very much like I play my Gandalf deck like it's a red deck. It's like everything hits all at once. If I don't beat you within 15 turns, I'm really screwed. If I don't beat you within 10 turns, I'm really screwed. Heck, if in that deck, if I don't get you down to 3 health and then take you out the next turn or two within like 8 or 9 turnarounds, I'm not for the long game. I don't do long games very well. Hence the red deck. I also recognize that because I see a lot of those contrasting players to myself, like white deck players or anything like that, I get a lot more artifacts and the mana fixings and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that not only do I focus on hitting really hard, which is what I usually do, I have to think about what it is I can use to counter, to get things off the board, to hit as hard as I possibly can, and everything like that. So the first thing I want to do is since I only have 60 cards, and obviously 20 of that, 20 or 25 of that is going to be lands. I want to make sure that I at least have one of cards that I know will do well. I'll build, multiples if necessary, but for now I just want to do kind of like Commander. I want to just focus on what card can I use the most at any given time. Is it going to be 4 of that card? Like, for example, if I get Stuffed Bear, I'm putting 4 of them in there. Just like that. But mostly I'm going to do like Commander, one of everything for now, and then go from there. The Goblin, I think, is the Aki Scramchakra. It's nice to be able to play as a creature right off the bat. Not really much else going for it. Daring Escape is fine. Experimental Synthesizer. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card. Sacrifice it for 3 mana, and you create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance. It seems really handy. It does. But I don't know. I'll see. I've seen Experimental Synthesizer come up a bit. I'm not particularly sure I'm comfortable using it just yet. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. There's something about it. It just seems off. Flame Best Bolt deals 2 damage to target creature Planewalker. 100%. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that I absolutely need to make sure I get that. I guess Flowstone Infusion would be great for the -2 if I wanted to play that game. Meh. Furnace Skull Bomb. Let's see. Sacrifice, draw a card for 2 mana. Sacrifice. Put 2 oil counters on a target creature. Control, draw a card, activate a sorcery. I don't know what an oil counter is, so I'll avoid that for now until I know what that oil counter is. Goldhound. First Strike and Menace. I like Goldhound. I do. Goldhound is a nice, really good card to start anything off with. Kuno faces Kakazan. For some reason, I thought this card was banned. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's here, so if it's here, it must not be banned, right? Let's see. Deals 1 damage to each opponent and Planeswalker. Then on the next turn, when you cast your next creature spell, the creature enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it, and then exile it and return it transformed. I actually really like sagas. I do. I like sagas quite a bit. I have 3 of them. So something maybe I'll keep in mind for later is how many of having maybe a couple sagas in there. I don't know. I think sagas are just cool. Like, I like watching the scroll and unfurl and stuff like that. Makes me feel powerful. Lysomatic Barrage can't be countered. Deals 1 to a target creature or Planeswalker. 5 is white or blue. So like I was saying, I was getting quite a few white players. I do get quite a few blue players. So that might not be a bad card to have, in my opinion, as far as ridding the playing field of creatures I don't want. And it gives me a little bit of an extra boost against a particular card set that I do come across quite frequently, so I think that's also a good one. Miriam Bane Splitter. Um, when it enters the field, attached to a creature, it gets 2-0. That sounds about right. Play with Fire deals 2 damage to any target. If a player's dealt this, scry 1. Alright, so Play with Fire is one of those spells that I would use a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 into that because it is a... I'll put 2 and then I'll think about it. But I would definitely play that spell heavily. As a puncher, you can't really go wrong with a spell like that, in my opinion. Rabbit Battery. No comment. Haste. Equipped creature gets +1/1 and haste has what's reconfigure? Reconfigure means to attach a target. Spend the mana. Attach to a target creature you control or unattach. Reconfigure only as a sorcery. Okay, so it just means to place it on a new creature. While attached, this is not a creature. Otherwise, it is a creature when it's... Okay, I got it. Okay, I think I get it. That actually might not be too bad. I get both a creature and a possible artifact attachment. Haste is not a bad thing. Reinforced Ronin. I'm going back to that rabbit. Yeah, I'll hold on for a second. Reinforced Ronin. Samurai. At the beginning of your step, return haste. And then at the beginning of your end step, return Reinforced Ronin to its owner's hand. And then channel and discard, draw a card. I don't know if I like that. I can see being handy, but I am not really good at playing that way, especially if I have like a mana problem already, which is very possible. Once I have if I have like a mana, I can't draw lands for some reason. I really get screwed. That's one of my what's the word I'm looking for? Drawbacks, failings. One of my weak points. That's it. That's one of my weak points. Let's see. Equipment Monkey. Equipped creature gets 1/1. Whatever Sam Sling or equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to its player. And then we can reconfigure that. I might have to toy with this reconfiguring thing. I like... This one is reconfigured for 2 mana. Yeah, I might have to look into these 2 reconfigure creatures here. Sticky Fingers. Enchant a creature. It has Menace, and whenever this creature deals combat to a player, create a treasure token. When an enchanted creature dies, draw a card. Can't go wrong with that. I like Sticky Fingers. Alright, Strangle, 100%. Like, anything that just deals direct damage, I can understand. It feels exactly like I want. I know that the idea of just hitting someone seems so, basic. But sometimes just hitting someone is satisfying. Let's see. She has... Volvern Singer has 4 strike as long as it's attacking. And then we can get 2/2. Yeah, that's alright. Voltage Surge. As an additional spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. It deals 2 damage. If this spell was cast, or if the additional cost was paid, then deal 4 instead. That's not a bad one. I don't want to pull that one just yet because of the sacrifice. I like the idea of punching without recompense. So, I'll go with this one and then go from there. I have a... Wait, am I just pull... Hold on. Am I pulling just creatures? No, it's got everything. I was like, where are my creatures at? I got like 2 creatures in here. I love Cathartic Pyre. It's one of my favorites. Alright. Drake said to make sure I always look at this section here to see what it is I'm working with. So, On average, right now, I have very low mana costs. Um, 6 instants, 2 sorceries, and an artifact, and 2 enchantments. I only have 1 creature. So, with that in tow, let's focus on creatures for just a moment. Right after I read these. Enchanted Land. Enchanted Land is a 3/3 creature. All right, I do want to kind of look into enchanting lands because I don't understand them very well. Um, they sound like it could be useful, but if anyone's ever watched like um, Black Clover or something like that. Like there's the sister of the Crimson Lions, the one that stays in the forest all the time. Yeah, and she's just like, I'm just gonna hit everything with as much power, and I put mana in my fists. Like that's actually me. Like why think about the theory of a whole bunch of different things when clearly if I hit you hard enough and you go down, that's all it takes. That's actually who I am. I love that character so much. Um, so the idea of playing around with like turning things into other things and whatnot, like it's cool. I should learn it. I'm not there yet. Practice makes progress. We haven't progressed there yet. we're in the progressing from what I know now. Dragon Spark Reactor. Another artifact enters under your control. Put a charge counter on it. When you sacrifice it, it deals equal to the charges that it's got. Onto a player or to a creature. Not a bad one. I actually think that Dragon Spark Reactor would be very handy if I had the patience for it. This deck does not feel like it's a patient deck, though. You know, everything I've said so far definitely feels like I want to make sure that I hit loud and proud right off the bat. So this, I don't think works with an aggressive upfront attack. This feels like I would have like a good siege. Let me see. Dwarven Forge Chanter. Prowess. What's that? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Oh, this one gets 1/1. Oh, yeah, just kind of like my Spell Gorger. Weird. I would have to cast a non-creature spell and then ward whenever a permanent. Ah, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want this card. I don't think I can craft anything. I want to save crafts for when I'm there, but I do want more of it. George, that looks great. First up, they got to pay 2 life. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly because Drake always says to me, make sure you read. Whenever a permanent with ward becomes a target of a spell or ability, counter it unless the player pays that ward cost. So they have to pay 2 life in order to get it. I should make sure I have more of that. I'll ask if that's a good card to make because I like it. I like it. It feels good. Electrostatic infantry, trample. Whenever you cast an instant or easy. I like power ups. Power ups feel exactly like I think it is. They are aggressive and they just get stronger over time, which is what I like. It builds up that momentum. It kind of like does this, but much faster. Right? So this is like build up, build up, build up, sacrifice, right? And hope that they don't destroy this artifact before you can use it. These are like, no, I'm going to hit you right away. Spellgorger Weird was my favorite card when I was playing it a few years ago. I was like powering that up like crazy. There was another one. I think it was like a horse creature. I can't remember what. I don't like devils in general. I don't usually play them. I know that seems like a weird thing to do. I just don't like them. I mean, I'll use them if I really have to, but if I don't have to, I won't use them. I don't like devils. If this spell is kicked, draw a card. Oh, I can't use this because I don't even have water in my thing, so it's not going to matter. Flame Channeler. When a spell deals damage, transform into this. Elemental Wizard. Whenever a spell you control deals damage, put a flame counter on this. And then so I have this, and then the moment I cast the spell that deals damage, I transform it, and then when I cast the damage spell, I put a counter on it. I can remove counters, exile the top of your card, and then play it this turn. Interesting. Interesting. For that +1 mana, I should say. Huh. That does seem very handy. It's kind of like a duel. Like, I hit really hard, and I get to have the long game. I think about it. Goro Goro. Disciple of Ryusei. Can see creatures you control gain haste. And then for 5, create a 5/5 red dragon spirit with flying. Activate only if you control an attacking modified creature. Modifications means equipment, auras, and counters. Oh, interesting. Huh, that's interesting. It's expensive to cast that, though. So this would be that late game kind of thing. It would be a good attacker for a 2/2 health for a 2 mana cost, I think. And then if I do end up being able to cast it and have 5 mana to go, that doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, I'll put it in. Just one though. I don't think I need 2. I think that would waste the space. Ridge Wolf. As long as you control another one that gets that, which I'm not going to do. Invasion of Mercadia. Enter the battlefield, you may discard. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay, so Invasion of Mercadia allows me to at least draw a card with a discard. Okay, not too bad. And then once it goes away, I get, if I understand, I played Battle Sieges once, and I think I understand it. So battle is a permanent type that enters with defense counters. As it enters, your opponent will be chosen to protect it, while you can attack it. Damage removes its defense counters. When it's removed, it's transformed, and I get Kirin Flameright. And then for 2 tap and discard a card, I create those 2 things. I don't think that cost is worth it. Not for the amount of time I have to wait for it to get there. Kami's Flare deals 3 damage. Also deals 2 if you control a modified creature. Yes, please. I'll pick 2 of those. Alright, back to where we're at. Hold on. I gotta double check. This is one of the first times I've actually had more spells before creatures. I've never done that before. I have 4 creatures and plenty of spells. Okay. Okay. I should go back. At first thought, I can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Lightning Strike. I can tell you that right now. Okay, Jackal Warrior. Transport and Prowess. Let's see. Phyrexian mana can be played with either water or life. No thanks. Reckless Impulse. Exile the top. Nope. I don't do well with exilings. Like they're like mini gambles that as someone who kind of likes fighting aggressively, gambles are great if they're high risk, high reward. But low risk, medium rewards, I'd rather just have something there that would hit assuredly. Vashino Citizen. Not helpful if I have another mana cost. Smoldering Egg. Now this is an interesting one. I like Smoldering Egg. It's a defender. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put embers on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Then, if it has 7 or more on them, remove them and transform. Now, this is a dangerous one because as a defender with 4 health, that's very handy. I would have to make sure that I cast at least 2 or 3 of these. I think 3, if I'm looking at my mana so far correctly. One, two, 4. I have to at least cast 4 spells while it's there. Otherwise, it won't work. But that high risk, high reward one, I believe that's what Smoldering Egg becomes. Because what I get, the flying, whenever you cast a spell, it deals 2 damage to any target. That is not a joke. That is an amazing transformation if I can make it work. Now the question becomes, do I want 2 of them? I don't know yet. Goblin Artificer. At the beginning of the combat, you may pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact. If you do create this, no. Sprouting Goblin, no. Anything that has like a separate mana, I just don't even do it because I'm like, it's not part of a game plan that I even have on the table. And it's a nice 2/2, but no point. Especially since, like, in order for it to get kicked, I need green. And the kick is nice, but I don't have green. Tempered in Solitude. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, which never happens. I just have to get there. I don't do that. I hit with everything that I possibly can. If I have to do it alone, But it also makes me exile a card, so there's that. Thrill of Possibility. Discard a card. Draw a card. I like the art. But I don't think this is worth it. Ultimately, I only gain 1 card. Or depends on how you look at it. If I have a card I can dispel, like let's say I have like a 8 mana cost creature in my hand, I can't do anything with it. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. But my deck does not look like it's getting built that way, so less likely that that's a good idea. Twinferno. When you cast it, copy that spell, choose new targets, or a creature gets double strike. Ugh. Because I have so many damage counting spells, it seems like a good one to keep on hand, right? Just because I'm like, oh, I get the chance to be able to double it, but I have to have enough mana to cast it. That's the big kicker. Ape Warrior. Enlist. Enlist is, as this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning Sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature until the end of turn. That seems like a pretty decent one. I like the. I don't. I mean, I'm not a. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh. Who was that battle during the Orichalcos? The one that refused to sacrifice creatures so willy-nilly, like Yu-Gi-Oh was doing at the time. I kind of feel like that, and then more often than not, I don't. I was like, oh, I'm going to sacrifice them. Yeah, I will. Destroying a target artifact is great. Let's see. This one also gets the enlist quality. When it dies, deal damage equal to its power to any target. That's not too bad. Yeah, I'll play around with that. This is that those two right there, the Yavmi Maya Steel Crusher and the Balduvian Berserker. Those are actually new things for me. I might as well add something new if I'm going to progress, right? Belligerent Guest. Trample. Whenever Belligerent Guest deals damage, create a blood token. Sacrifice this artifact to draw a card. Yeah, I'll take that. I need something to at least give me some drawing capabilities. Alright, Blood Hypnotist can't block. Whenever you sacrifice 1 or more blood tokens, target creature can't block this turn. I don't have enough creatures create blood tokens to do that. Sorcery, gain control of a target creature till end of turn, untap it, create a blood token. Alright. Dress to Kill. I have her alternate work, it's beautiful. Let's see. Add 1 or +1, you add mana. It deals 1 damage up to target or planeswalker. +1, exile top card. If it's red, you may cast it, which my whole deck is going to be that way, so it's great. If I get to 7, exile the top 5, you may cast any red spells. Among them, you get the emblem. Whenever you cast a red spell, it deals X damage, where X is the amount of mana cast on that spell. So this is a tough one. I'll come back to it. I will come back to it. Let's see. When conscripted, create a colorless artifact creature with token. Fine by me. Discard a card to cast it. Draw 2 cards. Flashback. Cast it from my graveyard. I'm gonna... Let's see. This one has cost 2. This one costs 3. If I'm considering this, then I should consider Thrill a possibility. Yeah, I might as well. If I need stuff that would let me draw cards, I think that's good. I have been seeing that that's something I need probably more of. Not massively, but to be able to utilize my deck more often. Let's see. I'm skipping Fearless Graham's Geist Flame Reservoir. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Geist Flame Reservoir. No. Trample Daybound. The reason I'm not going with the Daybound Night, I am not entirely sure how they work. I have seen it. I've seen people use it. I don't know what's causing the day to night shift on the field. So until I get that part, we can't progress with that one. So we'll come back to that when I understand it better. Defender. As long as it has a power of 5 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. But currently it's Defender. We'll come back. Enlist. Whenever Flame Sage attacks, look at the top X cards where X card is the power. So in this case, it would be 2. You may exile an instant or sorcery with mana value less of X or less from them. Put the rest in the bottom in a random order. That would require me to be able to do a lot of controlling counters, I think. And I don't think I'll have that for this deck very much. Kicker, white, no. Ogre Warrior. Whenever he attacks, look at the top 6 cards. You may reveal a dragon card from among them and put them in there. I just have Smoldering Egg. I don't have a dragon. I should create a dragon deck. Okay. So Marauding Dreadship. When it enters the battlefield, incubate 2. Incubator, I get 2 of those. And then I transform that artifact, which I can't actually take a look at it. Hold on, I should try. Incubator. Can't look at it. Okay, fine. I should want to see what my transformed incubator turns into. I have it in my other set, in one of my books over there. Let's see. Okay, crew 2. Tap any number of creatures you control the power of 2 or more. This becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try using it. I'm not very good with vehicle decks, so this might be something a little new. Minotaur. Pen Region Strong Bull. Sacrifice an artifact. It gets +1/1 and deals 1 damage to each opponent. Not too shabby, but also a little more sacrifice than I would like, based on what I have. Alright, Human Warrior. Whenever one or more of your creatures you control deals combat to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure. Exile top card. You may play it. I will take that. Let's see. I don't do Daybound Nightbounds. Goblin Artificer. Tap and sacrifice an artifact with the mana of X. Return target artifact with mana value less than X from your graveyard. It gains haste until end of turn. That's nice. Searing Barb deals 2 damage to any target. If it's a creature, it can't block this turn. Incubate 1. Oh, I misread the incubate from before. Okay, so incubate 2 means create an incubator token with 2+1/+1 counters on it, and for 2 mana, transform this into an artifact. It turns into a 0/0 creature with +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. And so for this one, it would end it with 1. Oh, okay, okay. I get it now. I get it. So I get 1 incubator, but the counters change based on what that number represents. I see. I might, yeah, Searing Bar doesn't seem too bad. Let's see, I might come back to it. Proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind they already have. They're currently there. I'll come back to that. The 3 damage to any target's not too shabby, to be honest. Can't kick her with a black. Witty Roast Master, Devil Citizen. No. Like I said, I don't like playing with devils if I don't have to. Ardent Elementalist enters the battlefield. Return an instant. Oh, yes. Yes, please. Dragon Spirit. Flying and trample. When Atushi dies, choose 1. Alright, we're at 4. So this is the limit of what my deck is going to have, by the way. 4 mana cards. Big score. Discard a card. Draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens. Yes, please. Alright. Plasma Jockey. When it attacks, a target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. Blitz. If you cast its blitzed cost, it gains haste, and when this creature dies, sacrifice a card. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Wait, what? What am I sacrificing? If you cast a spell for blitz cost, it gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. That seems clear enough. Maybe I might have to be corrected, but haste means being able to attack right away when you cast it. So in order for me to cast this card properly, I'm hearing, or I could be wrong, but this is the progress that we need to make, right? If haste is, as I understand it, the card can attack without summoning sickness. Then giving it haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card, means I have to cast it for 3. Oh, or is it am I casting it for its blitz cost as opposed to its normal mana cost? And then I would end up I think that's what makes sense. It's not a great making sense, but it makes sense. Thundering Raiju. Haste. Whenever Thundering Raiju attacks with a 1/1 creature that you would control, it deals X amount of damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than Thundering Raiju. How many artifacts do I have? I have a Saga, I have an Aura, I have some counter things coming. Maybe that might be okay. Let's put Thundering Raiju. Let's see. Goblin Archer, Reach. When a twin shot sniper enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Channel for 2 more mana, and discarding it, it deals 2 damage to any target. That's pretty good. And I like the fact that it has reach. I don't have anything that would counter any flying spells except for my hits. There's a guard of equipment. Wolverine Dinosaur. Whenever Menace. Whenever War Train Slasher attacks a battle, double its power until end of turn. I kind of want that. Let's see. 3, 4. Okay, we're at the 5 count now. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'll take that one. Once we hit 5, I'm trying to stick with right now learning how to just handle 4 or less, because that's, since my mana control isn't that great. Drake recommended several years ago now that I only focus on 4 or less mana cost cards, just so I can get used to being able to better handle mana control. Especially when I have multicolor decks. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and apply that same concept to my mono red deck as well. Yeah, I'll do Volt Charge. I think that'll be good. Okay, so let's recap what we have. Oh wait, I want lands. Oh my gosh, I forgot I wanted some lands. How did I forget lands? Alright, I have my basic lands. Where are my lands? Alright, I have 24 lands. Fine. Let's see, Autonomous Furnace. Sounds good to me. And then, I think that's the only one I can't... Oh! Blast Zone. Blast Zone enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it. If I tap it and I add a mana, if I have XX and I tap it, put X amount of charge counters on Blast Zone. If I cast 3 mana and tap it and sacrifice Blast Zone, destroy... I don't know what a tap is necessary for that line. Maybe I might be missing something. So if I cast 3 mana, tap it, and sacrifice it, which is redundant, destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value equal to the number of charge counters on it. This could be very powerful if I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll try it anyway. What other lands do I have? I have here... Oh. I have Roadside Reliquary. Right? Okay. Evolving Wilds. Okay, so here. Cabaret Courtyard. Cabaret Courtyard enters the battlefield. Sacrifice it. When you do, search your for a mountain, forest, or plains card. Put on the and gain a life. I'll take 2 of those. Let's see. This one is Demolition Field. Mana 2 and tap and sacrifice. Destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. That land's controller may search for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. You may search your library for a basic land card, then put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Evolving Wilds. Search and put it on the battlefield. Search and sacrifice. I mean, it's handy, it is. Obscura Storefront. This seems like Drake's card. When Obscura Storefront enters the battlefield, sacrifice it. When you do, search your library for basic Plains, Island, or Swamp, which I don't have, and then you gain 1 life. I have Cabaret Courtyard. That's what I need. And then Terramorphic Expanse, search your library, put it on the battlefield, and tapped. I like Cabaret Courtyard. I like Roadside Reliquary because I have some artifacts I could use. Blast Zone I've never used, but I'm trying it. because, like I was saying, like, so Dre Kurama is the one that kind of suggested it's his favorite card, and I'm gonna figure out how to use it too. And when he plays me, I'm gonna have it. And even if he watches this video, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have it anyway. Be ready as soon as I figure out what I'm doing with it. Okay. So let's see. That's my 60 card deck. I'm gonna call this. I don't know. I do not name my decks very well. I don't know. Punch and punch and grind. Let's do that. Punch and grind. Sounds like pretty much like the first thing that comes into my head when I look at it. I'm trying to, literally hit my way through things and try to, survive. And punch and grind seems like a pretty apropos description of everything. Okay. Bear. Ooh, what card sleeves do I have for this one? Punch and grind. Oh, yeah, this sounds good. A flail. Mm-hmm. Yep, a flail sounds good. Yep. I need to be perfectly honest, this is Chandra.
Fire starter there is.
I'm still not sure if I wanted to put the Chandra in there. I feel like that Chandra would have been nice, but no, I should put the Chandra in there. I should. Let me see. I should definitely put the Chandra in there. Mm-hmm. I know. It's weird for me to take out one blast zone, but I only know how to play it a little bit. So I'm going to learn, and then we'll go from there. But I'll have one Chandra, one blast zone. I think that's good. All right, so now it's... I have 61 cards? Oh, let me take out a mountain. There we go. Okay, so I have 16 creatures, 14 instants, 3 sorceries, 4 artifacts, 2 enchantments, and 1 planeswalker. What is a sphere? What is a sphere? Where did the sphere come from? Let's see. I have an average of 2.4 as far as mana costs are concerned. Yeah, seems apropos. Okay. So that's my punch and grind. Alright. Okay. Shall we take it out for a spin? Besides, I have to get some 30 red and green spells anyway, so good. This works out for my favor. I have some dailies I have to fulfill. Okay. What is this? Oh, they changed the whole layout. I don't want to do all of this. Yeah, I wanted to play a bot is fine. I know I was like, oh, maybe I'll play a thing. No, I'll play against a bot today. Is this the bot?
This one is called standard because it's the most common way to play.
No, I don't want to do... I'm already... I'm like, wait, you changed the arena. I don't want to find the match. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're going back. I've done this several times where I accidentally play another player and it panics me. Not like a lot, but I'm like, I'll still fight with everything I've got, but I kind of just want to take it out for a spin. And I keep double clicking because that's what you're supposed to do in life, right? Double clicking. Alright, so we're going to play bot match. We're gonna pick Punch and Grind. I think I did this correctly. Alright, Sparky. You and me, boy. Or Sparks. Okay. I have 2 mountains. And creatures that I can't cast right away, but I have Thrill of Possibility for 2, Cathartic Pyre, and Strangle. Do I want to mulligan and try to get maybe some creatures I can cast sooner, which seems more likely, or just take the hit that I'm going to get them with the 2 lands that I currently have? I'm gonna keep 7.
I love a good challenge.
Yeah, me too. And I think I might have made a mistake. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, no, no. Oh, I can just cast Thrill of Possibility and cast some cards. Let us...
Ever think about the multiverse? Like,
Can I just...
hey, that's
There we go.
why.
I was trying to, like, say get rid of this one. I'm gonna get rid of Thundering Raiju to cost... for the cost of the spell. Okay, so I have my Legendary Goblin. Right? Let's go ahead and get rid of Typhoid Rat. There's no reason not to. Still no... Yeah, I'm just gonna take out everything at the moment. I know, I know. Actually, I don't know. I'm just... That's me. Could be worse. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna not do anything else. Whenever a creature... Malakir Colbre. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on it, of course. And return a target. Of course. Okay. Let's cast my Twin Shot Sniper. No, no, no. We're gonna cast him. He's gonna deal 2 damage to that awful, awful creature. Alright, I'm gonna bring... Let's see. I'm gonna bring my flying creature in. I'm gonna attack. I'm going to block. There's nothing in there. He's probably gonna, yep, That probably should have thought it was gonna happen. Exile or play or create 3 treasure tokens. I'm gonna create some treasure tokens. And I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 of them to destroy that creature, because I can. Okay. I casted that one. And then I'm going to enchant my twin-shot sniper. It now has menace and create a treasure token. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to attack it. I got 2 treasure tokens out of that. And with that, I can cast Constricted Infantry. Okay, I can now cast my Saga. Scrolls! I love scrolls. I attack with everything. These have menace, so they need to, in order to, oh, actually attack. Wow, really? Alright, I got 2 treasure tokens from that. Oh, goody. What is this? Sacrifice, play this card. No. Alright, it's my turn. Alright. Unfortunately, I don't have another creature spell to cast. So... let's see. Oh, that was sacrifice a treasure! Man! So, remember when I said Drake says to read? And I don't? Yeah, that's what happens. Alright, here we go. Flame Blessed Bolt deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Exile, please. Alright, everyone attack. Alright, and I guess sacrifice a treasure. Now that I read it, it seems great, right? There we go. I don't know if that's gonna be doing me any good. Double its power, by the way. It's got menace and 5/4. can I draw? What else we got? Okay, I got land. Alright, now we have that creature. And let's see. We'll attack. Oh. Yeah, sure. Let's do a double strike.
Congratulations. You've done it.
Okay, fortuitously, I did this during a bot battle so I could properly read my cards. So next time I bring this out, I'll be like, okay, at the very least, I read the cards. I have a better understanding of what my deck was trying to do. Ugh. Server's been like this. Alright, how many red spells did I cast? None. Boo. Boo for it not counting toward my dailies. Anyway, so that is the first video in the series of Practice Makes Progress in Magic the Gathering. I hope you enjoyed the show and the stream of consciousness and also the chaos and yeah, literally just watching someone that on and off casually played Magic the Gathering over the years, trying to become better at it for this Mastery Pass and seeing where it takes them. I'm sure I'll be doing more of these as the Mastery Pass continues and as tournaments come up. And of course, there's this you see right there, Sealed Lord of the Rings. I gotta learn those as well as read the patch note mechanics that came out recently. So there's a lot to still learn. And technically speaking, I am still quite a beginner. Granted, I'm not a novice, but definitely still a beginner. And so judge me kindly. Or at the very least, have fun. Enjoy the show at the very least. I look forward to doing this again. Maybe not deck building next time. Maybe just more going right into matches with the decks I've built. We'll see. That being said, there are 5 colors. Gotta learn them all. Yay! Alright, looking forward to seeing you all again soon. As always, stay safe and have a wonderful, wonderful week.